start off the discussion with that? If anyone. Okay.
Lovely to see the whole bunch of you who have come before lunch, and can you all smile at us, please? Because if you smile, then we'll also have that energy to be with you. So very simple. Irrespective of what language we speak in the world, I mean in India, what is the first vowel in our languages? That's all. So irrespective of what languages we speak, the sounds that we humans make are the same. And we forget that and we tell this is a different language, it's a different language. So once upon a time, for example, in Korea, the word for mother and father is amma and appa. It's the same as the Tamil word. So long back, even now, our communication is always audio and visual. That's why Doordarshan had this program called audio and visual all the time. And so audio started with sound. You said then you started with hunger, then words started coming. And with visual, it was culture, it was painting after that, it became writing after that, and today we call typing. I don't think many of us write anymore, we only type. So what became culture, visual, so visual art and oral art were always two pieces. Telling stories used to happen. Telling, I still believe, is only oral because the word tell is oral. So a photographer can't be a storyteller, they're they're digital story makers, but storytell is oral. And we started with shouting, saying somewhere, and then time pass. I mean, even now time pass is how art always is there. So time passing was how we evolved, and today we still evolve time passing, and the best way to time pass is tell a story.
हाँ, जैसा कि उन्होंने बताया कि पहले तो एक क्यूरियोसिटी हर इंसान में, हर प्रदेश में, हर मुल्क में किसी ना किसी स्वरूप में रहती है। तो ऐसे शुरू हुआ कि आप जानते हैं क्या हुआ, मेरे साथ क्या हुआ, या उनके साथ क्या हुआ, या मैं वहाँ से गुजर रहा था तो उसमें से ये क्या घटित हुआ, तो इसके समझ लीजिए दो लोग झगड़ रहे हैं, या किसी का मर्डर हुआ, या जो भी बैंक लूटा जैसे, तो वहाँ से बात शुरू हुई। तो मुझे भी कहने में मज़ा आता है, जो सुनता है उसको भी थोड़ी जिज्ञासा के कारण मज़ा आता है। तो ये पहला, दिस इज द वन एलिमेंट। दूसरा ये है कि जिज्ञासा पर ही बात चल नहीं सकती। अगर आप समझ लीजिए कि हम बैठे हैं बस में, तो यहाँ मोड़ आता है, कभी वहाँ मोड़ आता है, तो अच्छा लगता है। मगर हर मिनट आपको ये झटका सा लगता है, तो फिर ये ऐसा क्यूरियोसिटी का है। अगर क्यूरियोसिटी ही चलती रहे, तो इसमें आपको कोई मजा नहीं आता। फिर आपको लगता है कि ये तो एक ही ढंग की बात हो गई। तो शॉर्ट स्टोरी में या स्टोरी में या एपिक में जो दूसरा फैक्टर, मेरे ख्याल से जो दूसरा फैक्टर इन्वॉल्व हुआ, वो ये है कि भाई आप बता रहे हो कि इनकी लाइफ में ये हुआ या उनकी लाइफ में ये हुआ, तो इसमें कोई कॉमन एलिमेंट है जो सबको लागू होता है, जो सबके पर लागू होता है, विच इज यूनिवर्सल। तो दूसरी बात ये हुई कि हम स्टोरी जब कहते हैं, तो जिज्ञासा तो वो तो राइटर का वो मास्टरी होती है कि मैं जिज्ञासा बनाए रखूं। फिर जिज्ञासा में भी ऐसा कुछ है जो आपको सुन के या पढ़ के लगे कि ये तो मेरी भी बात है, ये तो मेरे पड़ोसी की भी बात है, ये तो दूसरे देश में कोई रहता है उसकी भी बात है। तो ये आप उसको ट्रूथ समझ लीजिए, इंटरनल वैल्यू समझ लीजिए, या कॉमननेस, जनरलाइजेशन समझ लीजिए। तो ये शॉर्ट स्टोरी कहते कहते दूसरा एलिमेंट मेरे ख्याल से ये आया होगा। तो मैं अपने को पैनलिस्ट को देता हूँ जो आगे बात बताए।
I completely agree with my fellow co-panelists here. I think the only thing I'd probably add is that as humans, we are just essentially social animals. And I did not think about this before, but while you were telling me about how storytelling began, I was thinking about Adam and Eve. Eve would have told Adam the fact that she met a serpent, but she had a need to share with the only person who was there in the life with her at that point of time that, hey, this happened. And I think that essentially is probably what we are as people. We always like to talk about what's happened during our day to whoever. And I guess it stems from that innate nature of us to just share as much as we can with people. And I guess that also explains why so many social media sharing platforms are very popular. I guess it's just the same thing.
So, coming from that, we come to our readers. Readers have a shortening attention span. So most of us, when we are younger, a lot of the kids don't like to read because they think it's a long book. It is too tedious to read all of that, which I think should not be the case. But still, as we live in such a world, how are short stories viable for the readers? Are they easier to sell for the publications, or are they difficult to sell? How does the audience respond to it? And along with that, is it a boon for the writers or not? Because to get your whole plot, to make it concise, to bring it down, it's like you are taking an ocean and you're just giving the other person a drop. So is it easy to dissect it and just shorten it up for the author?
मैं आपको एक वाक्य बताता हूँ. हमारे गुजराती के ह्यूमरिस्ट है रतिलाल बोरीसागर, तो उनके साथ बात चल रही थी, तो बात वल्गारिटी की हो रही थी कि वल्गारिटी क्या है, आप डिफाइन कर सकते हैं. तो उन्होंने एक बहुत अच्छी बात बताई. हेलो हेलो तो हेलो हेलो. हाँ, तो उन्होंने एक अच्छी बात बताई कि वल्गारिटी का दूसरा नाम बोर्डम है. जो बात बोर करती है वो ही वल्गर है. उससे अलावा दूसरी कोई बात वल्गर नहीं है. तो ऐसा ही क्यूरियोसिटी का कि अटेंशन स्पान और ये हम सब बात करते हैं, तो अगर मुझ में ये आर्ट नहीं है कि मैं जो कह रहा हूँ इसके साथ इन्वॉल्व रख सकूँ, तो आप तो एक पेज पढ़कर भी बोर हो जाएंगे. अगर मुझ में ये बात है कि मैं आपको 100 पेज की कहानी भी पढ़ने के लिए मजबूर करूँ, तो फिर आप तो 100 पेज पढ़ने के लिए भी मजबूर हो जाएंगे. क्योंकि मैं देख रहा हूँ कि इन पिछले सालों में, मैं थोड़ी नॉवेल की भी बात करता हूँ, पिछले सालों में जिस किताब को प्राइज मिलता है वो कम से कम 400 पेज की तो होती है. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि अटेंशन स्पान कम हो गया है इसलिए हमें शॉर्ट को ज़्यादा शॉर्ट या माइक्रो फिक्शन के तरीके से पेश करनी चाहिए. माइक्रो फिक्शन भी एक अच्छी विधा है. अगर मुझे ये बात ही है लिखने में पढ़ने में तो ये अच्छी बात है, मगर एक जो लिटरेचर में क्या है, ऑल्सो का महत्व होता है, ओनली का महत्व नहीं होता. मैं ये नहीं कह सकता कि ओनली वही चीज चलेगी या वही चीज मैं पढ़ना चाहता हूँ या वही चीज मैं कहना चाहता हूँ. मैं ये कहता हूँ he can also tell something else. तो ये एक वजह है अटेंशन स्पान की, मैं अपने तरीके से उसको ऐसे देखता हूँ. दूसरी भी बात है वो आगे चलती रहेगी, वो भी मैं आपको बताऊंगा.
I think form is irrelevant, and what is important is what you want to leave the reader with. I think sometimes you write so that you can evoke specific emotions, anger, jealousy, whatever it is, or genuine feeling of empathy that you want to leave to the reader. So whether that comes in the form of a tweet or a or a short story or a novel, it really is, is probably relevant. I do think that given the state that we are in, I think it's easier to actually tell shorter stories and just get away with that. And microfiction piece is currently just really becoming quite hot. Similarly, some of Rupi Kaur's work, which are these very short sort of couplets, are very popular. I don't think that form existed, a few years ago, even, or maybe a decade ago. But I think that it is giving birth to new forms. But whether it is directly related to attention span, I'm not sure.
It's to do with choices that we have now. 50 years back, even the number of channels in TV that we had was 1 or 2, and today we have so many choices, and including books. 50 years back, we didn't have many writers, and today writers are competing in the market to be heard. And so which means that in 24 hours, that's all I can do. I have to watch a movie, I have to watch television, I have to go to school, I have to read a book, I have to eat breakfast. How much can you do in one day? Which means time is going to reduce per consumption time will reduce. And in English, the word boredom, you don't have that word in any of the Indian languages. You don't have it in Gujarati, you won't have that in Hindi or Tamil or Kannada, because as a culture, we never felt bored. So it's a new phenomenon which is say getting bored. I'm getting bored. It's okay to get bored. I mean, child should be okay to be bored. And other thing is, not every child should read. Not every child should read. And why should every child read? Reading is not a very natural, it's a form of expression. If a child doesn't want to read, I meet kids every day, and some kids might be oral, some kids might be a painter, some kids might be a reader, because reading is a miniature painting. If you look at the way the texts are written. And so with that, if a child, give the child, maybe the child will choose. Not giving the choice to a child is the biggest mistake. Asking a child to read directly, it's the biggest mistake. Wait, the child will choose once you give. And even now, I think TED is also reduced 18 minutes to 12 minutes, soon they'll reduce it. So that in that much 24 hours, we only can do so much. Because if we attend a call, look at even as an audience, I'm sure that half of us will be getting a call now, attend to a call, and many things will come in our way. So in that, how much do we spend time only reading? See, or somebody got a message now. That's simple.
Isaac sir, like you mentioned that short stories does not just have to do with short attention span. So what could be the other factors for the rise of this genre? For example, one thing might be that as writers we do feel that conveying a lot is difficult to keep it interesting, so that is why maybe we reduce it to a micro level.
So I'm actually not sure if this is the rise of the short story. Like a year ago when I was pitching my short stories book to like almost every publisher in town, everybody said don't write short stories. So I got rejected by every book agent and every every publishing house in India that don't write short stories. So if that resurgence were there, maybe I would have found it a little easier to crack it. So which is why I said that I'm not sure if this is the emergence or resurgence of the short story. And typically, like the guys, apart from if you leave aside the Hemingways and the Chekhovs of the world, who really specialize, and the O. Henrys of the world, who really specialized in short story fiction, or at least were really good at it, the way the short story genre at least works in publishing right now, the way I have understood is that you basically build a real base of readers for yourself by publishing long form fiction, and then you release a series of short stories. So if you look at Alice Munro, Junot Diaz, the names which are sort of really hot right now. Jeffrey Archer, he just released a short story collection. They all actually have the reader base because of some really good quality long form fiction that they have written. And then you essentially, try and reach out to the same reader base, and you have that resonance there with your existing set of readers. In my case, however, and which is why I'm a new author, it's probably not advisable. So while I've written this book of collection of short stories, if you're looking to maybe write, if any of you are interested, I would suggest do not write short stories, as I found it the hard way. But I'll also tell you this, that last year I actually pitched my book at Bangalore Literature Festival in 2016. and there was not a single short story collection by any author. This year when I went, there were 7 short story collections. So, but again, a lot of those established authors, very few new authors. So, which is why I'm not sure which side of the debate I am on, whether there is a resurgence or not. I'm seeing some resurgence, but I sort of really went through fire last year to get my book published. So, I wouldn't advise anyone to begin with short stories.
ये गुजराती में अभी एक सिचुएशन है जो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, आपको भी थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट पड़ेगा। अभी एक ऐसा ही एक कार्यक्रम था, तो कई बार हम पब्लिशर को भी बुलाते हैं कि भाई आप भी आ जाओ। तो आर शेठ करके हमारे गुजरात के बहुत रेप्यूटेड पब्लिशर है, तो वो बता रहे थे कि आजकल गुजराती में क्या चलता है आप जानते हो? मैंने कहा नहीं। उन्होंने कहा कि अब नॉवेल कोई पढ़ना नहीं चाहता और या नॉवेल खरीदना नहीं चाहता, ज्यादातर लोग शॉर्ट स्टोरी पढ़ना चाहते हैं या उसकी किताब खरीदना चाहते हैं। तो दैट वाज क्वाइट शॉकिंग फॉर मी, क्योंकि शॉर्ट स्टोरी राइटर है ना, वो जैसे गरीब घराने का है कि आप पीछे बैठो, आप पीछे बैठो। वो नॉवेलिस्ट है, उसको पहली लाइन में आप बैठने दो, ऐसा होता है। एलिस मुद्रो का आपने बताया, तो एक शॉर्ट स्टोरी में उन्होंने ये थोड़ा ये सेटायर भी किया है, शॉर्ट स्टोरी लिखते हैं ऐसा। और मुझे भी ये मेरा अनुभव है कि लोग आके पूछते हैं कि भाई आप शॉर्ट स्टोरी लिखते हो तो नॉवेल क्यों नहीं लिखते? तो मुझे कई बार ऐसा होता है कि कोई नॉवेलिस्ट को जाके पूछता होगा कि आप नॉवेल तो लिखते हो, वो ठीक है, मगर आप शॉर्ट स्टोरी क्यों नहीं लिखते? तो जैसा सर ने बताया कि उसका बाजार मार्केट थोड़ा गिर गया था, वो पहले से ही ऐसा चल रहा था, मगर ये शॉर्ट अटेंशन स्पान हो या जो भी हो, इन दिनों कम से कम गुजराती में तो ये सिचुएशन है कि लोगों को शॉर्ट स्टोरी में ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट होने लगा है। और जैसा कि आपको मैं बता दूं कि पिछले 6-7 साल से हमारे बहुत बड़े शॉर्ट स्टोरी राइटर और बहुत बड़े नॉवेलिस्ट हैं, मधु राय, तो उन्होंने एक्सक्लूसिवली एक शॉर्ट स्टोरी का मैगजीन चला के रखा है। वो हर महीने प्रसिद्ध होता है। मुझे ये था कि 2-4 इश्यू निकलेंगे फिर बंद हो जाएगा, मगर ये बंद नहीं हुआ। गुजराती में पहले नॉवेल के मैगजीन निकलते थे, एक इश्यू में पूरी एक नॉवेल आ जाती थी, मगर वो बंद हो गया, वो खत्म हो गया। मगर शॉर्ट स्टोरी का चलता रहता है और मेरे ख्याल से अब तो ज्यादा जोर से चलेगा।
So to convey an idea concisely and effectively requires a good deal of skill. And Giri sir, आपने भी थोड़ी short stories लिखी है, आपने भी short stories लिखी है, and you also recite stories. So how is it a bit more difficult? What is the experience from writing what is termed as normal literature or the longer format? So as an author, does it pose any challenges, or do you write, so like you are publishing a book, you've published a book on short stories, so is it different or maybe difficult, or what is the experience from the conventional literature?
So we asked the short story writer why you don't write long stories, you asked, but have you ever asked the story? The problem is you have to ask the story, what do you want? It's like cooking. Some dishes need a longer time to cook, and some dishes need a short time. Pav bhaji can't be cooked for hours. It'll stink if you cook it for a longer time. And same thing, a halim can't be cooked in half an hour. So if a story needs to be told in time, give it time, and that becomes a long story. If some story needs a shorter time, there are wonderful 30-second stories which can convey everything. And there are stories which need to be told because then it needs a lot of time to cook. So that is the only thing that's important. It's what you want to write is different. The story will decide what you want. The time. I mean, when I say telling, means I can tell a story in 2 hours. I can tell in 30 seconds. But what does the story need? What are you cooking in it? That's important.
So I think the effort required is pretty much the same, and completely agree with Vikram here, because it's essentially what's the story that you want to tell, what does it require? Again, coming back to Jeffrey Archer's example in his latest book, he's written a 100-word short story. That's the first short story in the book, and he took it as a challenge because it has to be exactly 100 words. That's a phenomenal story. Like as a reader, you are almost zapped at the end of it. So it really doesn't matter, and I'm sure it's not as if he came up with those 100 words just because it's not proportional to the amount of time that he would have spent, right? He would have spent an inordinate amount of time on that as well, and he talks about it in the book. So yeah, I guess the craft, every form requires a specific craft and time for it to really blossom. And I guess whether it's a short story, whether it's a recital, whether it's a novel, I think the story decides where does it want to go.
ये थोड़ी टेक्निकल बात हो जाएगी, फिर भी मेरे ख्याल से यहाँ जो लोग बैठे हैं उनको भी शॉर्ट स्टोरी राइटिंग में थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्ट होगा, इसलिए मैं बता रहा हूँ कि शॉर्ट स्टोरी की एक अलग पिक्यूलियरिटी है, वो ये है कि वो एक मोमेंट की बात करती है, वो एक पल की बात करती है। मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देके बताऊंगा। गांधी जी के बारे में तो हम सब जानते हैं, सो मैं उनका एक एग्जांपल आपको दूंगा कि जैसा गांधी जी ने कहा कि मेरे लिए तो सच ही ईश्वर है, सच ही ट्रूथ इज गॉड फॉर मी। तो उनका सारा जीवन सत्य की साधना में गया। तो जैसा मैं समझता हूँ कि जिस दिन उनकी हत्या हुई तो उसके अगले दिन तक उन्होंने कुछ ना कुछ सत्य अपने जीवन में से पाया। तो कोई उसकी अगर बात करना चाहता है कि गांधी जी ने क्या क्या सच पाया, तो उसकी आप नॉवेल लिख सकते हैं। वैसे गुजराती में लिखी भी गई है, उसका नाम ही सत्य है। तो गांधी जी को बहुत चीजों में सत्य की अनुभूति महसूस हुई, तो इसके लिए आपको नॉवेल की जरूरत पड़ेगी। शॉर्ट स्टोरी कहाँ आती है कि गांधी जी जब दक्षिण अफ्रीका में ट्रेन में वो जर्नी कर रहे थे और उसको धक्के देके या जैसा गांधी फिल्म में दिखाया गया है कि फेंक के प्लेटफॉर्म पे उतारा गया, तो वो जो मोमेंट थी, दैट वाज मोमेंट ऑफ रिकॉग्निशन फॉर हिम। उस वक्त उनको लगा वो 5 महीने पहले के गांधी वो नहीं थे जो प्लेटफॉर्म पे निकाल दिए गए। तो ये जो निकालने की एक मोमेंट आई, वो उनकी मोमेंट ऑफ रिकॉग्निशन थी, जिसकी वजह से उनकी लाइफ में टर्निंग पॉइंट आया। और ये मोमेंट ऑफ रिकॉग्निशन क्या थी कि उनको लगा कि हर इंसान समान होता है, या समान नहीं है तो समान बनाने के लिए कम से कम मुझे लड़ाई लड़नी चाहिए। तो बाकी की जिंदगी यही चीज में गई कि हर इंसान इक्वल है और इसके लिए मुझे लड़ाई लड़नी चाहिए। तो दैट वाज मोमेंट ऑफ रिकॉग्निशन। तो अगर आपके पास सच कहने के या जो भी आपका एक्सपीरियंस है वो कहने के बहुत लंबे तरीके हैं, तो आप नॉवेल लिख सकते हैं, मगर आप पिन पॉइंट करके बता सकते हैं कि दिस इज द मोमेंट ऑफ रिकॉग्निशन या दिस मस्ट बी द मोमेंट ऑफ रिकॉग्निशन, तो आप शॉर्ट स्टोरी लिख सकते हैं और आप लिखिएगा।
उसके बाद फिर मैं आता हूँ कि जो डिस्टिंक्ट फीचर है, अकॉर्डिंग टू मी what I've noticed in short stories is there is one very distinct feature about it, it's ending. So if you see O. Henry stories, they are famous for their uncanny endings which one would not have thought of. So according to all of you, कि जो endings होते हैं हम लोग short story के अंदर, ending में कैसे ending होने चाहिए? Is that if you have a same idea, what you wish to convey in a story or a short story, so does the ending change in the same content if you were to convey it in a shorter page span or a longer span? So the जो distinct ending है उसके बाद.
So my screenwriting instructor used to say that people will always forgive a bad beginning, they will never forgive a bad ending. And I think in the case of short stories, that's truer than ever, because if you basically the pressure on the ending is quite a lot, because the reader almost feels that you know, I know a short story will give me some gratification at the end, and I'm waiting for it. But again, I think it's a matter of style and probably substance in some form, because there are a lot of writers who actually begin with like a very smart twist at the end or a big twist at the end. But there are also writers who actually just leave it at a moment, like Sir said, that it can just be, you know, Gandhiji being thrown off the station and him looking at the train passing away. That's not a twist. You know, you already know that, you know, that he's been thrown. But I think if you just build that moment in itself, that becomes a really powerful ending. So I think it's a matter of form and style and, you know, how you want to do it. I think O. Henry, like you mentioned, was known for these. Jeffrey Archer right now is known for these. Alice Munro, on the other hand, is not known for this. She will just probably end on a moment like this. Same with Juno Dias. It will not be a powerful twist at all. It will just be a very simple moment that you are either expecting all the way, but when it hits you because suddenly hit the protagonist and you are just left in their shoes hanging. So I think in terms of ending, what I do love about short stories and what all of them try to make you do is probably leave the reader hanging. And the beauty of reading a short story is that when you see a novel, when you pick a novel, you know that it's ending on 238 page, right? In a short story, if you're like on the 8th page, you don't know whether the story is ending on the 9th page or the 11th page. That suspense is what I absolutely love, and I think that's what the craft is all about.
So the beauty of stories is when you end the story, either you understand or you don't understand. Not everybody should understand. Not everybody shouldn't understand. Like if you understand, you understand. If you don't understand, you don't understand. So I've had sessions, I've read stories where I've seen, when I finish a story, I've seen the left side of a person's crying, the right person telling me this is very kiddish. What do you do with it? But that's the power of stories. You don't have to explain everything in a story. It's not an essay writing. So that's one. And the other thing is the oldest form of short stories didn't come from West. Our Panchatantra and Gita-Padesha are our short stories. I hope the short story comes back to our own culture. I mean, we come from a culture of short stories for multiple reasons. So they are an excellent example. The same story might mean something to the left audience, might mean something to the right audience, something to the middle audience. That's the beauty of any story. It shouldn't mean one thing. The moment it means one thing, the beauty of human mind is it has to be interpreted in many ways and leave the audience to interpret. Let's believe in the audience.
ओ हेनरी बहुत बड़े शॉर्ट स्टोरी राइटर है। वो बिगिनिंग में आए थे, तो उनके पास एक ये प्रोटोटाइप था कि चलो मैं ऐसी शॉर्ट स्टोरी लिखता हूँ कि जिसके अंत में जिसका एंड है वो आपको भौचक्का कर देगा, वो थोड़ा हिला के रख देगा। मगर दूसरी भी, जैसे मैंने कहा कि ओनली नहीं ऑल्सो भी हो सकता है, तो दूसरी एक जैसा आपने बताया था एलिस मुनरो, क्योंकि उनको नोबेल प्राइज मिला है तो उसकी शॉर्ट स्टोरी बहुत लोगों ने बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ी है। तो दूसरी जो शॉर्ट स्टोरी है इसमें ऐसा होता है कि उसको बोलते हैं ओपन एंडेड स्टोरी। तो इसमें जहाँ स्टोरी खत्म होती है पन्नों पे, वहां से आपके मन में शुरू होती है कि चलो मैंने दरवाजा खोल के आपको एंट्री दे दी, मैं अब चलता हूँ, मेरा काम खत्म हो गया। आप अंदर आके घूम सकते हैं, देख सकते हैं, तो उसको ओपन एंडेड स्टोरी बोलते हैं कि मैंने आपको हिंट दे दी। मैंने आपको ऐसा नहीं है कि ये ट्रूथ कोई पैकेज है तो आपके हाथ में पकड़ा दिया और इसके अलावा तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता। वो एक तरीका है, वो भी जायज है, ये दैट इज ऑल्सो ऑथेंटिक। दूसरा ये है कि मैं आपको थोड़ा सा नच करूँ, फिर देखो मैं उनको बोल रहा हूँ, किसी का ख्याल है या नहीं, मैं उनको थोड़ा नच करता हूँ, देखो ऑडियंस में चल रहा है, तो वो फिर अपने आप देखने लगेंगे। तो ओपन एंडेड शॉर्ट स्टोरी में ऐसा है कि लेखक जहाँ लेखक के तरीके से रुक जाता है, वहाँ वाचक वो राइटर खुद हो जाता है और कई तरह से उसको उसके दिमाग में शॉर्ट स्टोरी आगे चलती रहती है।
And to conclude with this, कि हम लोग जब हम स्टोरीज बताते हैं तब हम क्या कन्वे करना चाहते हैं, हम कुछ आइडिया के साथ रखना चाहते हैं या हम कुछ इमोशन के साथ रखना चाहते हैं या हम जस्ट टू डिस्क्राइब स्टफ। सो फॉर ईच ऑफ यू, तो आप तीनों के लिए ऐसी क्या चीज़ है जो आप ऑडियंस को या जो भी आपके रीडर्स है, जो भी आपकी किताब पकड़ेगा या जो भी आपकी स्टोरी सुनेगा या समझेगा, उसको आप कन्वे क्या करना चाहते हो? एक आइडिया है, वो इमोशन है, वो क्या है?
राइटर होने का मतलब क्या है? आप लिखते हैं तो क्यों लिखते हैं? तो जैसा अनु कपूर जी का प्रोग्राम चल रहा था, मैं सुन रहा था, उन्होंने कहा कि पैसे के लिए या कीर्ति के लिए, वो भी बहुत अच्छी चीज है, उसके बिना आप कल्पना नहीं कर सकते। वैसे हमारे गुजराती में बहुत ज्यादा पैसे और बहुत ज्यादा कीर्ति नहीं मिलती है, तो ये फॉर्म बहुत प्योर अभी तक चल रहा है, इसमें ज्यादा वो मिल जुल नहीं है। ये तो दूसरी बात हुई। मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि हर राइटर वो क्या होता है, वो आप समझ लीजिए कि वो एवरीडे बुद्धा होता है। ही इज अ गौतम बुद्ध, छोटा सा अपने तरीके का। क्यों? हमने सुना है कि गौतम बुद्ध जब नगरचर्या करने के लिए निकले, वो अपने नगर में निकले, तो उन्होंने देखा कि एक आदमी मरा है, तो उसको ले जा रहे हैं। तो उसने पूछा कि क्या है? तो कहा कि आदमी मर जाता है तो उसको मौत भी आती है। तो उन्होंने जाना कि यस, ये मौत ऐसी चीज है जो हर आदमी के साथ घटित होती है। फिर आगे जाके उन्होंने देखा कि बुढ़ापा, और वैसे वो 3-4 सच उन्होंने देखे, तो उनको लगा कि यही बड़ा सच है, और अगर मुझे कुछ करना है तो लोगों को इसके बारे में बताना चाहिए। तो वो अपना वो राजपाट छोड़ के सन्यासी हो गए, और उसी बात पे वो उन्होंने सारी जिंदगी बात की कि भाई देखो, बुढ़ापा आता है, देखो मौत आता है, मैं आपको उनसे मुक्ति दिलाऊंगा, ये तरीके बताऊंगा कि इससे मुक्ति कैसे आती है। तो हर आदमी इतना बड़ा, हर राइटर इतना बड़ा बुद्ध होता नहीं, शेक्सपियर होता नहीं, मिल्टन होता नहीं, मगर अपने तरीके से छोटे छोटे शेक्सपियर, छोटे छोटे मिल्टन होते हैं, जिसको छोटे छोटे सत्य, क्योंकि ये सत्य एक ही चीज नहीं है, बहुत सारे सत्य मिलकर एक सत्य, एक जिंदगी का सत्य होता है। तो मुझे कुछ थोड़ा छोटा एक सत्य मालूम हुआ, तो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ। तो मेरी विधा है, मेरा जॉनर है, मेरा फॉर्म है, वो शॉर्ट स्टोरी है। तो मैं शॉर्ट स्टोरी के जरिए आपको बताऊंगा कि भाई देखो, ये बात हो रही है स्मार्ट सिटी की, या ये बात हो रही है वाइब्रेंट गुजरात की, मगर आप अगर गांव में जाकर देखोगे तो आज भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो भूखे सोते हैं। तो ये मेरा सत्य है, और सत्य तो तभी सत्य होता है जब ये कन्वे होता है। तो मैं आपको कन्वे करके बताता हूँ। तो ऐसे छोटे छोटे सत्य है, लिटिल ट्रूथ्स, इसी से शॉर्ट स्टोरी बनती है, ऐसा मेरा मानना है। और अगर मैं लिखना पसंद करूंगा तो ऐसे किसी सत्य पे लिखना पसंद करूंगा जो मुझे प्राप्त हुआ है।
In terms of what you want to leave for our readers, right? That's what I think. I don't necessarily think of the output first. I generally want to be first gripped by a person and his struggle to get something, which is a bare fundamental of any story. A person wants something, how badly he wants it, and whether he gets it in the end or not. And I think of it a little more conventionally in that sense, that I don't think of the output first. I essentially want to be gripped by a person's desperate need to want something, whether it is admission, whether it is to be a moderator in a literature festival, or whatever. So if that grips me, then I want to write that story, and then I want to just follow it and figure out if I can leave it at a moment wherein the reader can either smile or hate the protagonist, or dislike him, or love him, or push him, encourage him. But I essentially start from the very basic, that what are the n number of things which X number of people want in this world, and can I take you on that journey of that end character towards that X goal? So that is my way of approaching.
For me, a story is everything, because you never really don't know what the audience is taking. You might want emotion, but they might take the truth in it. So even your own spouse, your own parents, you never understand. No? So you never understand the reader for your life. Even a lifetime is too short for that. But a story is like a bottle. So the bottle, if I have to give water to you, if I give you water directly, you will spill. So I give you in a bottle so that he can pass it to you, he can pass it to you. So story is just a container. But the water needs to be passed. What the water might mean for drinking to him, might be for bath to him, might be for just washing his shoes. But you need a bottle in life. And story is a bottle which you can throw away. But the water will come to you only with this bottle. And that's all the bottle for me. There's no brand in it. It's a beautiful tool to share things, everything. It could be truth, emotion, feelings, history, documentation. A lot of stories that you hear about even the Hare and the Tortoise is not about Hare and the Tortoise. It is documentation of slavery. So what is it for me might be different, might be evolution for somebody. So it can be many things for anybody, but it is the bottle and not the water. The water will change, the bottle has to be transferred. So that's what stories for me.
We're running out of time actually, so we would like to begin with the audience interaction. So if any of you have any questions, you could please ask them.
Everybody's hungry.
Yes, sir.
Short story, does it have, how short or how long does it have that glitter kind of thing, that 100 words is a short story or 1,000 words? Is there anything like that?
I'll probably take a stab at that and then pass it on to you. So again, I begin with a very basic foundation. People normally say that anything within 3 to 5, 6, 7,000 words is the definition of a short story in the Indian publishing scenario. If you go up to 20,000 words, it's like a novella, which will not really have a spine that's big enough to stand out in a bookstore, but it can be stacked on top. So like Khachar Gochar, which is actually a Kannadiga writer, Vivek Shanbhag, who wrote this phenomenal novella. It's about 15,000 words, so that's the novella. The definition of a novel, at least again in Indian publishing scenario, is anything above 40,000 words. That's what they do. But the more I'm reading short stories now, at least in the last couple of years, I'm seeing that short stories are becoming shorter. And like Jojo Moyes' recent collection is actually, I think every story is probably 1,500 words or lesser. But I think that's a good enough range, 1,500 to 4,000 or 5,000 words.
So I just want to know how essential is the personal experience to write a story? Means if you list down few 4 or 5 essential things to write a story or to ignite the story inside us. So personal experiences stands on in which place?
First, if there's no personal experience, you wouldn't be writing.
Okay.
So an artist is, I call it an art, but I'm saying an artist is always, the art is an extension to the artist. You can't cut away and say, no, this is not my work. Try that, it doesn't happen. So it's first your experience and you're putting it down in an art form. The art form is writing. So your personal experience is the first, and then it tests out. It can be a part of the pizza or the full pizza. That's up to you to choose.
Yeah, I think all of us, we cannot hide away from the stories that we write. So involuntarily, like the kind of moments of truth that you mentioned, in life, like whatever you sometimes, encounter when you sit to write with a blank piece of paper, that's probably the first thing that comes very easy to you. So, it does lend itself very well and very critical, like I think, to have varied set of experiences and to transform them. I think there have been times when I have consciously tried to actually not put anything from my personal experience, and I've failed at it. So invariably something or the other always seeps onto the page.
मेरे ख्याल से आदमी का दिमाग 2 तरह से काम करता है। एक तो जो मेरा खुद का अनुभव है वो मैं अच्छी तरह से लिख सकता हूँ, हालांकि उसमें वो फॉर्म पर मुझे कंट्रोल होना चाहिए, वो एक चीज़ है। दूसरी बात ये है कि सेकेंडरी एक्सपीरियंस, अगर आपको खुद को ये एक्सपीरियंस नहीं भी हुआ है, किसी दूसरे का भी एक्सपीरियंस आपने पढ़ा है, तो वो उसको आप आत्मसात या फिर अपना खुद का एक्सपीरियंस बना सकते हैं और उससे भी आप शॉर्ट स्टोरी या पोएट्री और जो भी आप लिखना चाहते हैं, ड्रामा वो लिख सकते हैं। मैं आपको बताऊं कि कई बार आप देखते हैं सिनेमा में कि ये मेन कैरेक्टर मर रहा है तो आपकी आंख में आंसू आ जाता है। तो क्यों आते हैं? वो आप जानते हैं कि वो तो एक्टर है, वो मरा नहीं, वो तो कहीं बैठ के मौज मजे उड़ा रहा है। फिर वो कैरेक्टर है वो भी काल्पनिक है, इमेजिनेशन है, तो वो भी मरा नहीं, क्योंकि जो जन्मा ही नहीं वो मरेगा कैसे? मगर आपको उसका एसेंस पहुंच जाता है, दैट इज द सेकेंडरी एक्सपीरियंस। तो फर्स्ट हैंड एक्सपीरियंस भी काम करता है और सेकेंडरी एक्सपीरियंस भी काम करता है। तो कई बार आप वो सिनेमा देख के हिल जाते हैं, वो आप डिस्टर्ब हो जाते हैं, तो उस पर से भी आप कुछ लिखते हैं, पोएट्री लिखते हैं, गजल लिखते हैं। तो दोनों तरीके से ये बात जो आदमी का दिमाग है वो दोनों तरीके से परसीव करता है। तो उसका भी सेकेंडरी एक्सपीरियंस का भी महत्व रहता है।
Are there any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Before some time, you just told that time taken for a short story and a novel it is almost same, like it is same actually. So, but like in short stories, you have to create that many protagonists, that many personalities, and maybe in a novel you might not have to do that, because there is only one protagonist, probably maybe 2 or 3, but not as many as one needs in a short story. So, do you think that short story is is more time consuming when it comes to creating characters?
I think what I meant was that just because it is short doesn't mean that it takes a short time. That's what I meant. But yeah, you're right. Like my collection has 15 short stories, for example, and all 15 of them have like their own journeys and all that. And it did take me like an X amount of time because there were at the end of the day there are an X amount of words that are going into a book. However, I also wrote a manuscript as well, a couple of them which also did not get accepted anywhere. But there also I spent almost the same amount of time. So from my experience, as long as if I'm writing 40,000-50,000 words, because I do an X amount of words a day, and at the end of the day, I think it also boils down to your form or the way you want to finish it. Like if I start something, at least from a writing discipline point of view, I will tell myself that I have to write 2,000 words irrespective of however bad it is. At the end of the day, I just need to have those 2,000 words on paper, and that's at least my personal way of writing it. So for me, actually, both of them are very similar. I approach it both as saying that okay, I have to write an entire form between 40 to 50,000 words. I'll divide it, between X amount of days. I'll take my days break, and I have to hit those. At least then I have my first draft ready. So I'm talking more about from a first draft perspective, and I think that's where your question is also stemming from, because you probably want to start something. So really matters on how you want to basically structure the whole thing. For me, it almost took the same time.
Okay, so but ideas required in short stories will be more like,
Yeah.
you have to build the character like every
I know
time.
what you're saying. I know what you're saying. So I'll give you an example of this year's Nobel Prize winners in literature, Ishiguro. He said that you have to allow yourself to be bad every day to be able to put those words on paper. So I know what you're saying, but even if you, let's say, these ideas are forming in your head, etc., they are terrible, just go ahead and write and finish the whole thing. Because then you have something that you can improve upon. I think at least some of my friends, and whenever I visit college festivals, etc., what I often hear is that they start off, they have too many ideas, they don't know how to finish a story because the ending is not good enough. It doesn't matter. Finish a really, really, really bad novel. Finish a really, really, really bad short story. And I think that is more important, to get it down on the paper first, than worry about, this idea is not good enough or that is not good enough.
Now we would like to call one of our volunteers to present the mementos. So now we facilitate Mr. Kirit Kruger. with our moderator, Kalibur.
It's okay. It's more memorable actually if I take this.
It was quite a captivating session, and I would like to thank all the panelists and our moderator for having come here and for their wonderful presence. So, thank you.